what would your guys' view if Activision went, right, we're re-releasing COD Duo and COD as a new game, or revamped, a bit like Counter-Strike style?
The thing is, you can still play those games. So if they were,
Allegedly.
yeah, well, in theory, you can still play those games.
Yes.
So if they were still attractive enough to play, you go back and play them. A new graphics engine isn't going to make the game suddenly more exciting unless you add new features. At which point, they might as well release a new game. It's like that Battalion that looks like a cross between Call of Duty 3, which most people didn't play, and Call of Duty 2. But they've only really shown the basic combat. It depends what they add to it on top of that. Is the recoil accurate? Is there a suppression mechanic? Is there
but say they've just done what?
Can you have crude weapons like a machine gun loader and a spotter and things that you could on?
But say they've done the same as what was it Valve done, like Counter-Strike, like CS:GO. They just revamped it. It's the same game.
Yeah, they tweaked it, but the thing is with that is that it was wildly popular even before they did that. Like CS 1.6, people were playing it in tournaments online back when online tournaments were barely a thing.
LAN games.
LAN games. Then CS Source came out. People complained about that because they changed some stuff and they tweaked it and refined it, and then that became really popular. And then CS:GO comes out, so it's not like it's not like it's had a resurgence. It's got more popular, but it's not like it's had a sudden they've re-released Counter-Strike. You remember that old game? It's like they've just been growing the player base, and people have left. Like myself, I used to play when it was 1.6 and beta. I just got bored of it. Whereas there are people that have been playing it for a few years. There are people that have just come to it, and it's the best thing since sliced bread, like it was when I first started playing it.
It's kicked off quite well, though, hasn't it?
Yeah, because it's the thing that made Counter-Strike good to begin with was it was people still complain and say it isn't, but it was generally quite a well-balanced, tactical, competitive, focused game. There wasn't too much randomness to it. It was all skill and teamwork and judgment and a little bit of luck, but mostly basic mechanics. Whereas a Battlefield, there's a massive amount of randomness to it and chaos. Whereas Counter-Strike vehicles and fluky headshots.
That's what I really miss.
Counter-Strike, yeah.
That's what I miss.
It's more complicated.
Though.
What the? Sorry, I've had a random ragdoll fly across the street.
Yeah. Morning.
But I do miss that in Call of Duty. The thrill of you caught the flag and you're running and that tank.
All the traces are whizzing past you.
Yeah.
And, tank shots cracking past your head and things. But
and that's what made COD Duo brilliant.
But we don't play it anymore.
No.
And I'm sure there's a reason why. If we went back to play it now, we'd probably have a few good games, and then it'd be like, what, do you want to go back and play Battlefield?
Yeah, but
nostalgia.
Apparently, Call of Duty.
Nostalgia's a lot to do with it.
Yeah, but COD Modern Warfare or Call of Duty 4 to us, actual people who we know it as, because it's classed as Modern Warfare 1 to the console players, but apparently it's still huge. Because with the PAM mod,
relative to what?
Is a lot of
do people still play it, or is it still?
They're still playing it competitively. And what's it? I've spoke to a few people that still play it, and if you look on ESL, there's still tournaments for it.
But
I think the reason is what Dave said, because it's still moddable and.
That's the other thing as well. Mods tend to expand the lifetime. Most people probably haven't heard of Half-Life now. It's quite an old game. Or the first Half-Life, or never played the first Half-Life. But that's where Counter-Strike came from.
Yeah.
From a mod.
Oh, my testicles!
That might be an idea, actually.
I don't see why they don't do it.
Yeah,
I know why they don't do it, but I don't see why they come to the decision that it was the right idea not to allow mods.
Money.
No, I think the idea of what they should do is release a game, release all the map packs, and charge what they want to charge, and then at the end of 2 years, they release a mod tool.
Mod tools, yeah, and say, off you go, here you
say,
go,
right,
go play.
Yeah.
When you think about Skyrim, Skyrim's one of the best-selling PC games, at least recently, as far as I'm aware, or at least one of, and that's because of modding. People see all these amazing mods and they go, I'll get involved in that, on top of the game being quite attractive to a lot of people anyway. But part of its continued success is modding. The reason why people still play it is because of mods.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then when you release an expansion pack, it's like, oh, well, people still play this game because of mods. We can keep releasing expansion packs, and they'll probably buy them because they still play the game. They're still invested in it. They want to carry on their adventure.
This is the shame, but the backlash of trying to sell mods.
Yeah, well, that
Oh
was
dear.
Things like that happen as long as they learn and
I think they
correct
have
the mistake.
learned, but it's oh god.
Yeah, like Battlefield. Imagine, we're playing it now. Imagine what it'd be like if there was a World War II mod for it. We're on about remaking
awesome.
COD UO.
Yeah,
if they had
that
mod
would be
tools,
awesome.
someone would have made a World War II mod. The difference then is how good is the mod, how well is it supported, blah blah, blah, how well is it balanced.
Sure,
that's different to something else, but you can guarantee there'll be someone will have a go at it.
Yeah, but it's like now. It's like they could easily release the mod tools now. They've made their money. And they're ready.
Maybe mod tools isn't something they can do. Maybe the engine is that. I mean, we've seen the amount of trouble they had with releasing their own game, let alone people modding it.
Not really. If you watch the Jack Frad video about the nighttime maps.
Oh yeah, but they're mostly cosmetic. That's changing, turning the sun off and those kind of changes.
Yeah, but still,
changing light sources. It's doable, but it's not like they're changing physics properties or adding rules to the code. That's something else entirely.
Yeah, but it can't be. They're using mod tools themselves now to make this game. So why can't they just release all that?
The software they use to make the game will be completely different to what a mod tool is. They might have bespoke software to.
They came with silly excuses like no one could mod BFE because of the physics will blow shit up and say Battlefield 4. But I think.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of.
But that's been proven time and time again. That is absolute rubbish.
But I'm sure I heard somewhere that
the software they use to release the game can't be. People learn how to use it, but I can't see it being something
freely available.
Something that people would be able to use as a mod tool without having to learn it. And also, these companies pay a lot of money to have this software developed. They're not going to release it for free. They usually license it off people. And, if you release software you've licensed, that's kind of piracy.
Yeah, someone's tried to remake GoldenEye in Unreal 4 engine. It can be done. It's just a shame about the licensing issues of it. It's like, oh, Christ.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
The source funding can still get access to it.
But I'm sure I heard it in a video somewhere that they're modding Battlefield 3.
Yeah, they figured out ways of doing it.
I did try that sort of thing that did come out a while back.
So a lot of the changes they made were mostly cosmetic.
It says there is a mod tool released for Battlefield 3.
That'd be a third-party one.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. If someone can make a third-party one, why can't they make an official one?
Costs money. You got to bear in mind that a lot of these decisions are made by people in suits, not in people who make games.
Yeah, especially
EA's famous for them, the whole SimCity thing. That's probably one of the finest examples of men in suits making the wrong decision because they don't know anything about games, or at least
about
and they
gamers.
Killed Maxis.
It's the ones, I sort of get what you're saying. It's the one that sits behind the desk and says, right, that's making me money. Right, I'm going to do this.
This is the optimal strategy going forward.
They say, oh, could you do this
et
to this game? And they say, yeah. And you go, right, do it then.
Cheeky bastard, Jack.
At the end of the day, it's a business, and these games. If you look at I finished GTA 5 the other day. The story mode finally got around to actually get around and playing it. The credits went on for about half an hour. Hundreds of people made that.
Annoying. Yeah.
That's
the word.
I usually like to watch the credits because sometimes you spot
cheap
stuff.
Unfortunate.
And it's people made the game. At least watch the credits. I suppose I don't know. But yeah, nothing better to do. But anyway, went on for ages. Like how these people, they're all mostly skilled people, so they'll be on a reasonable wage. Game development takes years. How much money must have been invested in this game to make? They obviously made it back, but these games aren't cheap. So if they fail, that's a lot of money sunk into something which won't make a profit.
A lot of job redundancies.
Yeah. Well, they normally minimise it, but basically, the guys in the suits, their job is to make sure that the game makes money. So they make the decisions which they think will maximise their chances. So there's a bit of that involved, but It's good that you still see games come out every now and again, which is made by a small group of people, or even one person. I haven't played it, but I forgot it's called Undertale. Made by one guy. Massively popular game.
Woman.
Or at least a woman even, or at least I don't know whether it's sold very well, but it's definitely very talked about, very, had its moment in the spotlight, if you like. As that one person making a game, the way they wanted to make it, and
I'll tell you what.
It's
I'll tell you what, Will. You should do your own talk show because you just sound so awesome with the stuff you come out.
I just like waffling.
That's good.
People like to listen to people waffle.
I'm also trying to shoot people at the same time, so it's kind of. I'm fifth on the scoreboard though, so what's everyone else do?
You make sense of what you're saying. I hope.
They're like the word between testicles.
In between slotting people with an assault rifle and trying to talk cohesively about games, it's kind of tricky.